Hi guys, welcome back to my channel. I do apologise for my barefaced state, but we are still in lockdown and I have not left the house in quite some time and nobody has seen this face aside from my parents, so I figured why bother putting makeup on just to sit in my bed and read. So yeah, hi. So I'm back with a reading vlog and this is actually quite exciting for me, possibly for you guys, I don't know, definitely exciting for me because this is the first, this is the first video in my vampire reading series. So if you guys haven't already watched the little announcement video I have made, just kind of explaining what it is that I'm doing over the coming weeks and months before Midnight Sun is released, then I will leave it in the cards, go ahead and watch that. But this is the first video in that series and it's going to be a little reading vlog. This video is going to centre around the latest novel by Grady Hendrix, which is the Southern Book Club's Guide to Slaying Vampires. I am so excited for this. So I've read one Grady Hendrix novel before and that was My Best Friend's Exorcism and I loved it, and I tend to read it kind of every Halloween season or every other Halloween season. It's just like the perfect blend of kind of like spooky and unsettling, and it has some great pop culture references thrown in, and I just love that book. So I'm excited to see if their latest release is as good as that one, in my opinion. But this book, I'm actually going to buddy read it with my friend Alex. She's also got a copy, so she's starting on Saturday. I'm going to start reading it tonight. Today is Thursday, so I don't know how long it'll take me to get through. I'm pretty sure My Best Friend's Exorcism took me about 48 hours, so it was a very quick read. I think this probably will be as well. But this book basically is set in Charleston in South Carolina, and it focuses around a small book club of kind of middle-aged women who are obsessed with true crime. The main character is a lady called Patricia, and she's kind of going through a bit of a tough time. Her husband's not really very present in her life. I think her mother-in-law gives her a lot of grief, and she's just not really a happy bunny at this point. Anyway, she leaves book club one night and her elderly neighbour attacks her. And all of a sudden his youngest grandson, I think, nephew, sorry, his nephew comes to town to try and kind of smooth things over somewhat. I mean, everything isn't quite as it seems with his nephew, and all of a sudden children start disappearing, there are a few murders, and looks like a little vampire might have come to town, you know? So I'm really excited to get stuck into this anyway. This is actually going to be the first book that I ever annotate as well and tab. I've never done that before, but I actually have some supplies. Got myself some tabs, I got myself some post-it notes, got a little highlighter going on, and also a biro. So I'm actually going to sit and properly document my thoughts when reading this novel. I'm not entirely sure what the different colours on my tabs are going to mean yet, but I'm going to make a note on my post-it and then stick it at the front of the book so that I don't forget, you know. But yeah, I'm really excited, really excited for this. It's also coming at the right time to read another Southern vampire book because I'm currently, as I think I said in my announcement video, 3 seasons deep into my first ever watch of Vampire Diaries, and I'm loving it. I am loving it. Slightly regretting watching it before I've ever read the books, but I don't know, I love it. I'm trash for Damon Salvatore, okay? Absolute trash. Like, Edward Cullen ain't got nothing on Damon Salvatore. Anyway, I'm gonna get stuck into the start of this novel, and then I'm probably gonna go and read some, watch some Vampire Diaries, so I will catch you guys in a little while. It's so funny, okay, so when I was in school, you were kind of taught that, like, you should never deface books, and you should never write in books, and you should look after them, you shouldn't break the spines and everything else. And I'm sat here and I'm really wanting to make a note just on the prologue because I just want to make a note, and I'm sat here literally battling with myself right now because I'm scared to write in the book that I've paid money for and that I own. Like, it's my book, why am I scared to make a note? I mean, I have bought post-it notes just in case this exact thing happens, so I figured I can like annotate on the post-it notes and put them in. But I'm just like, oh my god, what is wrong with me? Like, why does school continue to like just stick in my mind like that? What the hell? Also, interesting observation, in the author's note before the start of the book, it mentions this is set in the same neighbourhood as My Best Friend's Exorcism, but set a few years after the events in my best friend's exorcism. So that's interesting. Also, I have an angry tab in here already because I absolutely hate the quote that's been used at the start of the book, and I'm pretty sure it was there to get your back up anyway, but I was just like, hate that. Yeah. Hi guys, it's a little bit later. It's not really, it's about 20 minutes later. I've read the first chapter. I'm tabbing already, and I have my post-it notes firmly stuck in with my thoughts. I'm really enjoying it already. Actually think it could be a 5-star read, and I'm 24 pages in. So there's that. I've not had a 5-star read since I read House of Earth and Blood. I don't think I've had a 5-star read since then. But I feel like, oh no, I have, sorry, because I enjoyed 5 Perfect Strangers. I'm pretty sure I gave that 5 stars. But yeah, oh, and Here and Gone by Halen Beck. Okay, I've had like 2 5-star reads. But this I'm really, really enjoying already. It's just the perfect kind of blend of like lightheartedness. I can just tell it's going to confront some serious topics within it as well, without kind of laying too heavily on them. So for example, I think there's going to be depictions of feminism and discussions around feminism. I think it's going to be very interesting to see Patricia, the main character's character arc, because at the minute I think you can already tell she's going to be warring within herself, between kind of the person that she wants to be and the person that society has brought her up to think that she should be. I think the depictions of kind of the typical southern US housewife are going to be quite interesting, especially from like a British perspective as well, just to obviously understand a little bit more about that mindset, I guess, because like I've read quite a few books set in the American South now, all kind of like modern ones, not historical fiction, and I just find it very interesting to hear about that kind of southern pride, that southern hospitality that they pride themselves on so much over there, and I think that's going to be quite widely depicted in this book too. So yeah, really interested so far. It's already gripped me. I also haven't talked about the front cover yet. I love it. Like, I really love it. Just no more words. I'm already in a love affair with this book. I just really hope that, I think obviously James pretty much is going to be the vampire. I think you're pretty much told that in the blurb on the back. Yeah, James is a monster of a different kind and Patricia's already invited him in. Yeah, so obviously James is going to be a vampire. I really hope he's kind of like a bit of a love interest, because I think that would be interesting to see how she navigates like potentially getting the urge to be unfaithful to her husband and to kind of bring that kind of shame on the family. I'm using quotation marks because like obviously, you know. But also I kind of really want some sexy vampire action. You know, I'm obviously getting a lot right now with Damon Salvatore, but would also quite like some literary sexy vampire action. So hi, me again, looking increasingly dishevelled. I really like this book. I really like this book. In fact, I like this book so much that I am foregoing an episode of Vampire Diaries tonight to read more of this book before I go to sleep. I want to devour this book, and then when I have devoured it, I want to devour it again. And I'm literally only on chapter 3. I'm loving it so much. So, just for reference, my blue tabs are for things I found funny, and my pink tabs are for things that I've loved, and so far pretty much the whole thing is like blue and pink, with like one yellow tab for something that I found an interesting plot point, and the aforementioned purple tab at the front because of that quote that I hated. But like literally just loving this so much. Could very well be a new favourite. Hey guys, it's Friday. These are my little blue light glasses. Do you like them? I got them, I realised I look an absolute mess. It's lockdown, it's fine. Yeah, I got these because I'm spending way too much time obviously in front of screens at the minute, and my eyes were just starting to feel a little strained. So yeah, I got these bad boys and I think they're actually helping. So that's something, that's good. Anyway, I just thought I'd check in because I have been getting stuck into this bad boy over my lunch hour. So I'm on page 126. I'm freaking loving this. Like, I just forgot how much I love Grady Hendrix writing. Like, I don't know, it's just sucked me right in. I honestly think there is a high chance I could actually finish this tonight. I mean, I'm like 33% of the way through, so I have got a lot still to read. It's like just short of 400 pages. So I've still got a lot to read, but I think I can whiz through this. So I'm actually hoping that I can finish work a little bit early today and get a few more hours reading in. I've been making lots of notes though. As you can see, I'm enjoying tabbing my first book, and I'm also like adding in, hang on, I'll try and find an example. Adding in my notes on post-its as well when I read, so that I can kind of keep my thoughts in one place but not actually deface the book. So yes, I'm thoroughly enjoying it anyway. I'm trying to get some actual footage of me reading and annotating and stuff later, because I always like doing that on reading vlogs, but yeah, I'm gonna go and crack on with some more work. Love that for me. Hey guys, it's a lot, well not a lot later, it's a few hours later, and I'm just having 20 minutes reading my book before I start working out, but I've just read the most horrific scene in this, and it just reminded me of how much Grady Hendrix uses like just vile animal related stuff in their writing to like build suspense and disgust. Like it was pretty intense. It reminded me a little bit of the owl scene in My Best Friend's Exorcism, if you've read that, and also the tapeworm situation. Just kind of gross and just not pleasant is what it was. So yeah, I've just read that and now I'm going to continue. Guys, oh, chest pain, ow. Okay, good morning guys. It's Saturday, nearly forgot what day of the week it was then, and I am gonna sit down and spend my morning reading. I've just woke up at like 10 AM. I'm really overtired at the minute, so I had a bit of a lie-in, woke up at 10, and then I've just sat and read for a little bit, and then I thought I should probably vlog me reading a little bit because I haven't done much. I'm about 3/4 of the way through. So current feels, definitely still sitting at a 5-star read. I'm kind of like, is it a 5-star or is it a 4.5 or a 5? Like, I can't quite make my mind up at this point. I feel like years ago, I think I've said this already, I used to give anything I enjoyed a 5-star. I never used to really like think about my ratings very much on Goodreads, whereas now I'm a lot more picky with how I rate books. But I am really enjoying this. I just feel like because I've slept, I've lost momentum with it, and I did this with Here and Gone by Hale and Beck, and I'm pretty sure I still gave that a 5-star because it was brilliant. This is brilliant. I am really enjoying it, and I'm sure when I get back into it this morning, that motivation and momentum will come back. But yeah, I'm really loving it. I don't want to go too in depth on my thoughts in this video because I've decided I am going to film a separate review video where I talk a little bit more in depth about the characters and the plot and everything else. But it is really good. Like, there has been some seriously like creepy, suspenseful moments, which I think Grady Hendrix is so good at doing. And like some really gross moments as well. Like, obviously I think I told you about the rats. I didn't tell you obviously what happened with the rats, but I told you about the rats. It reminded me a lot of when I read My Best Friend's Exorcism, and there's obviously some pretty gross scenes in that kind of turn your stomach a little bit. He's very good at doing that. Like, I don't know, all of his books kind of remind me a little bit of like 80s horror. Very gory, but also kind of like a little bit ridiculous and kind of a bit tongue-in-cheek as well. So yeah, that's my thoughts so far. But yeah, I'm really enjoying it. As you can see, I've been tabbing quite a lot. I've been enjoying tabbing, and I've also been like I said yesterday, writing down on post-its my thoughts and stuff. So when I do my review, obviously I will be able to talk a little bit more in depth, hopefully, than I could do for my King of Scars review that I've not actually even put up yet, so whoops. And what I'm then going to do, I think I'll probably finish this morning and then spend my afternoon filming and editing and doing all of that stuff, because I'm very behind on things I want to film at the moment. So yeah, anyway, I'm going to crack on with reading, and I figured I would just set you guys up on my tripod so that you can join in. So enjoy. How I said I was losing momentum with it? The momentum's back. The momentum is back. Holy crap, it's just got kind of super creepy again, and you can tell that we're about to kind of hit the big dramatic thing that's gonna happen, and I'm here for it. I am here for it. So a character has come back that we saw at the beginning of the book and that we haven't seen for a little while. Again, not gonna give any spoilers. And I'm here for it, because I thought that particular character was going to be kind of the one that solved everything, and that kind of was like the voice of reason, and I think I might be right, so I'm very happy. Also, I look very, very shiny today. I just did my skincare routine before I started filming, and like, I'm glowing. A gal is glowing. Oh my god. Okay, that was unexpected. I'm sorry, but this is perverted, I think, is the only word that I could use to describe it. Like, it's horror, like it's supposed to be horrific, but like, my god, I'm used to vampire novels being all like Edward Cullen, sparkly vampires, and this is something else. It's something else. Wow. I have no words. I am going to take a little break, and I'm going to go downstairs and have some lunch, I think, because I've got about 40 pages left to read, and I'm gonna finish them after lunch. But yeah, I have a lot of thoughts right now, a lot of feelings. I'd go eat. I finished. That was a wild ride from start to finish. My god. have no real words right now. Like, it was a definite 5-star read. Like, I absolutely loved it. I tabbed it a lot, had fun tabbing. So maybe that's something I'll be doing more often. I don't think I'll do it with every book, but ones that I want to talk about more in depth, or I'm particularly interested in reading, or things like my classics, I think I'll tab and highlight and annotate and all that kind of fun stuff. Yeah, I feel like I need to just kind of sit and decompress from what I've just read. I definitely took a turn away from the traditional vampire book, which I will talk about more in my review. I'm going to sit and write some notes, I think, now, so that I can remember kind of what I want to talk about when I film my review, which I'm probably going to film later while it's still fresh in my brain. Yeah, it was definitely very different to any vampire fiction I've read before. Obviously, all vampire fiction I've read before pretty much has been kind of like YA teenage vampire stuff, where vampires are kind of sexy and, you know, you kind of end up having a crush on one of them and it's all like fangs and I'm gonna suck the blood from your neck and all that kind of stuff, whereas this definitely took a very kind of like sexual twist, which I was not expecting. It was definitely very disturbing. But I loved it. I loved how uncomfortable it made me feel, the same way his first book made me feel really uncomfortable as well. Not his first book, sorry, the first book I read by him made me feel really uncomfortable as well. I liked this, I think, more than I liked My Best Friend's Exorcism. Again, I will go into that in more detail in my review. My review, I think, will have some spoilers in it, so if you don't want to get spoiled for the book, then maybe wait until you've read it before you watch that video. But yeah, that was definitely a 5-star read. It was so much fun. I think I read it in under 48 hours. That's pretty good going, especially for like a 500-page book. And I am so glad I decided to kick off this vampire series with the Southern Book Club's Guide to Slaying Vampires. So yeah, that was a lot of fun. I highly recommend it. Like I said, I've given it 5 out of 5. There are some trigger warnings, I think, for it. Which I will just run through very quickly now. Like, obviously I don't know if they've got like official trigger warnings for it, but just things that it made me think of while I was reading. So I'd say trigger warning for sexual assault and rape, and kind of trigger warning for suicide and self-harm as well, even though it's not really self-harm. But yeah, so just bear those in mind if you're disturbed by any of those things in particular. It is gory, it is quite explicit, but yeah, for the most part I absolutely loved this. It was brilliant. It was a great fun read, and I'm gonna sit and assemble my thoughts now, make some notes, and then I will film the book review for you guys. So that'll probably be the next video that you see after this video. But yeah, I hope you guys have enjoyed the reading vlog. I don't know how good it will be or how long it will be or anything else, but yeah, I hope you guys enjoyed it. I'm definitely going to be doing more of these for this series up until Midnight Sun comes out. So yeah, I hope you guys enjoyed it. If you did, please give me a thumbs up, please subscribe, and I will see you in my next video. Bye.